the World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world. Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we will bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are when you say so. When you choose to live in a place of no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity. When you choose to live in your own love and light and share your unique gifts with the world, because we're all unique. And that's why it's called World Healing Tour, because when we heal ourselves and our lives, we truly create that ripple effect for others to heal as well. Each week, I bring incredible guests into studio to help pour into you and help you on your journey. I'm super excited about my guest today because she's also my boss in some way. Camille Leon is known worldwide as the founder and CEO of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. She's an abstract artist as well, which I had no idea about, and the author of Fresh Start Transformation in Action. Whether you're looking for a holistic approach or for life, for health, for your business, Camille is like a matchmaker to get you plugged into it. I'm so excited that you're here today, and I'm so excited, Camille, that I actually get to run one of your chapters, which is the Holistic Chamber of Boca Raton. It's been such an honor. I actually have met so many incredible people through your chamber and through what you created in your life. So to interview you is such an honor, and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. Welcome, Camille.
Thank you. I am so glad to be here. It's just terrific to support you in the World Healing Tour. We are on the same page when it comes to that ripple effect. The more we heal ourselves, the more we advance healing for everybody else. And take it away. I can't wait to hear what we're going to end up talking about.
Yeah, so I wanted to start by just saying that I've met so many people through, because I became a member of the Holistic Chamber way before I started actually leading a chapter. I became a member in 2018, and I've met so many incredible people through that, so many holistic minded people that are really here for positive impact in the world. So I wanted to start the conversation is why holistic? Why did you start this movement? What made you want to spread that holistic health into the world?
Wow. Um, you would think I would have a 30-second answer for this, but it is not a 30-second bing, bing, bing. There are really three seeds. The first one was when I was working in downtown LA, and my mother and my grandmother had some health problems. And so I started asking my coworkers if they could refer me to an acupuncturist. And boy, let me tell you, they looked at me like I was off my rocker, and they asked me questions like, is it covered by insurance? And they use needles, don't they? So that was the first seed, which is, even in a progressive city like LA, most people aren't aware of the benefits and the value of holistic health therapies.
Well,
Um,
what year was that, Camille?
so that was actually around 2006, 2007. Then in 2008, I would say we entered our beta test phase, and we officially kicked things off in 2010.
So what happened in 2010? Is that when you decided to launch the Holistic Chamber? How did that idea even come? I know you were looking for acupuncture. How did holistic health actually be even come to your mind? Because it wasn't popular at the time. So where did it come,
Well,
the idea of holistic health? Where did it come from?
okay, so that's interesting. So back when I was in college, we're not going to mention what the year that was, a few years back. Um, when I was in college, I was diagnosed with gout. And gout is a form of kind of a form of arthritis. It's very painful, not typical in female 20 somethings, but I got it inherited from my grandfather. And the doctor was about to prescribe a medication for me, and he said, but it's really harsh on your liver. And once you start it, you'll pretty much be taking it for the rest of your life. So I asked my grandmother about it, and she gave me a nutrition checklist of foods that I should be eating and foods that I should not be eating. Because as it turns out, gout is largely impacted by the foods and drinks that you are intaking on a regular basis. So I would actually say that that was probably my early introduction to holistic health and wellness in the concept that holistic health and wellness is really natural health care. It's it's not I need to take another pill. It's is there something I can do in the way I am living my life, in the foods that I am eating, the drinks that I am drinking, and how much exercise I'm getting. And then it extends to the healthcare and wellness care therapies that also don't really require here, take another pill.
Yeah, so you changing your diet, was that
Yeah.
helpful to healing your gout?
Yes, in that the more I maintain those nutritional choices, the less often I am experiencing a gout flare. So, gout for me has not been a daily pain. I get gout flares.
Mhm.
And typically, by the way, so here's another holistic and health and wellness factor. Um, when I am in a stressful period of my life, it doesn't matter how well I'm eating and drinking, I'm still at risk of a gout flare. Um, and that just means that the uric acid has built up in my blood and in specific joints. Look it up, boys and girls, let me tell you. Some of the pictures are not pretty. I've kind of been lucky in that I have probably a more moderate case. Yeah, but it was moderating my diet.
No, that's awesome because you can change so much and control so much just with what we put in our body because that's it could either heal us or hurt us. So it's great that
Yeah.
that was a way that you learned how to kind of manage it through your life. And,
Yeah, and I will just say one thing though for anybody who thinks I take no pills ever cuz of course I'm a holistic lady. Um there are times when it makes sense to listen to your doctor, when it makes sense to take a short-term prescription, right? That's going to help with whatever is going on right now. And then you get back to your regular personal therapies and holistic approaches because you were able to take care of a short-term symptom or problem. Integrative healthcare is is part of what we really suggest. Not just one or the other; it's both. And
yeah, that thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense, right? Because some things, science and over the years we've been able to heal so many things with sometimes medication. So, but you have
yeah,
to know when to do things and when not to do them. And I think the holistic approach is great as a first approach, right? Before you start taking on something that could potentially have side effects.
yeah, yeah. Because who wants side effects? I mean, especially the very often negative side effects of not just one medication, right? But you have to take a second medication to help with the side effects from the first medication. And then you end up taking another medication for something else. And
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us know somebody who sits down and counts out a lot of pills
Yeah.
that
And,
they take on? Yeah,
yeah, and you don't know the long-term effects on your body as well. And I told you that when my mother-in-law moved in with us, she was on 20 meds, 20 different meds, 3 times a day. And we got her off everything but two meds. And it was like unnecessary. Every time she would go, she would get another med and another med. And it's like you're putting a band aid on, but you're not really healing what's going on inside of you. So I think we just have to be really careful because at the end of the day, I know you agree with me, Camille, you're your own advocate. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody says. You have to advocate for yourself and you have to learn what's right for you, what's not right for you. Anybody can say, here's another pill, here's another, do this or do that. But at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself and be like, and do your own research, right? Learn, educate yourself so that you choose positive things in your life.
Absolutely. And recognize that we're all individuals. So what works for my mother or my father doesn't necessarily work for me. And what works for me doesn't automatically work for them. And sometimes one of their recommendations really does work for me, right? Like my grandmother's recommendation that I start eating based on the nutritional guidelines she gave me. Well, that worked for me, right? Um, so we've got to sometimes check in with our own body and figure out what works for us, and uh, yeah, and sometimes we check in with the doctors and they can get us through. We'll just call it a rough, painful patch. I promise you, if I break something, I'm probably going to go to the hospital to get it fixed, right? So, um, yeah,
Definitely. So the Holistic Chamber of Commerce started in 2010. Did it launch in 2010?
yes, yeah.
And
We were in West LA with one group in West Los Angeles, California, and then we had
were
some.
you running that group at the time?
I was running that. So for anybody who thinks that I have always been the CEO, um, we used to have one group. So CEO of a project, really. And
Let's talk about the project. What was the
okay,
because we you said the Holistic Chamber of Commerce came out of a project. How was what was the project like? I want to hear more about that because you
well,
are in
so
such a different place today. How many chapters do you have worldwide or within?
right now, all of our active chapters are in the US, and we are at about 15 groups
That's
coast to
amazing. I
coast.
mean,
Yeah,
you are the founder, the CEO of this huge network that's being run by
yeah,
different people all over the United
yeah,
States, and
yeah,
you support this whole network of people. And it all started with you in LA with a small group, and look where
yeah.
you are today. So it just shows how we are here to build, and it doesn't happen overnight. So I want to talk about the project and how the project came about and how you built this.
Well, interestingly, there was actually another individual who was a holistic practitioner who came to me and suggested a networking group for holistic practitioners. And I said, oh, we can do that. We need to find a location. We need to choose a day and a time. We need to get the word out and let people know that it is going to happen, when and where it's going to happen, and how they can RSVP, right? And we did that. And we had a full house, full room. And we had people in LA, where traffic is a factor, drive 2 hours to get to that first, one way, 2 hours one way to get to that first meeting. Ding, 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 ding. That is your clue, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else listening. If people are willing to drive that far in a city that is known for traffic, there's a high level of interest in what you are doing. And
I
it's,
love that.
yeah, so then we had a second one because everybody was like, oh, let's do this again. So we had a second one. And after a few months of that, we actually had somebody from another state who heard about it and reached out to us and said, what would it take to create one near me in Texas? So, yeah.
That's awesome. So where did the name come from, the Holistic Chamber of Commerce? Because I mean, it's such a great name.
Well, so that brand name, Holistic Chamber of Commerce, came because we really wanted to bring together two groups. Uh, Chamber of Commerce is a brand name for an organization that really is respected in mainstream circles,
Mhm.
right? So most people who have never really considered holistic approaches know what a chamber of commerce is. And we wanted a name that was going to speak to the people who have never tried holistic therapies before, who, are maybe curious about chiropractic or acupuncture or even massage or essential oils, but they've never tried it. And so that was why we checked on the availability for Chamber of Commerce and connected it to holistic because, right, that's the bridge we're creating is how do you start learning about holistic therapies and start trying them. So I say awareness, education, and access, right? People need to be aware of the holistic possibilities that are available to them for healthcare, wellness care, personal and professional development. And then they've got to be educated enough that they're willing to check it out, and they've got to have access. It doesn't do you any good to learn about acupuncture if the closest acupuncturist that you can find is, 3 or 4 hours away. Think about ourselves with our average everyday healthcare. Mostly, we are looking for doctors and healthcare providers that are close to us, either close to where we live or close to where we work. So, our long term goal, short term goal, our goal is to really cover the US coast to coast with holistic healing health professionals and providers of all sorts. Um, and then on top of that, we have added a layer for business support professionals because when you're fully booked with patients and clients for your healing therapies, you need support on the business side of what you're doing.
No, that's really important. So I know that you do support businesses in a professional way, the marketing part. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do you support businesses with marketing?
Well, so our we have members who are website designers, website members who are actually virtual assistants, VAs. We have some members who are branding and marketing professionals. We actually have members also who are accountants and bookkeepers, a few attorneys. So it's it's that we have categories in our directory and in our membership for business support professionals who are holistically aligned or heart centered and have an understanding of what it means to be holistic and want to support our industry and our marketplace.
No, that's great. And you do help. I know that you do, besides the fact that like each chapter is in a different city and we have meetings every month, right, to bring our members together and to bring connection. You also do a lot of virtual events as well.
We do, because the world has tilted, and now we are a both and a society, both in person and online. You know, that's just the way it is. So, from headquarters, we run typically 3 or 4 online Zoom meetings every month, and members are always welcome to attend any or all of them.
No, that's great. I've been to some of them and they're really, really great. So let me ask you this. Why would somebody who's in a holistic field, what's the benefit of being a member of the Holistic Chamber? What are the biggest benefits that you think help your business get out there more?
Oh, that's great. So I think two primary benefits. Hmm, well, we're going to start with the first two. One is connection and community. Uh, Isolation is a problem in the world these days. And for a lot of holistic professionals, we are the only one we really know who's doing what we're doing. Our friends and family, they love us, but they don't necessarily understand why we're, running the business that we're running. So the local groups and the online meetings are really that support, connection, and community for us. And then the other big benefit of membership is search engine optimization for our products, our services, the offers that we have, our events and our programs. So all of our members are in an online directory, which is publicly available. So people can search it wherever and whenever they're looking. And we also have an online calendar, which includes our members' posted events. And again, people can always come looking through the calendar as well. And it's good for your SEO. So that's, I mean, frankly, more than half of our members right now are participating in the global online offers as well as our local groups.
How does it help your SEO? Can you put, if you're a member of the Holistic Chamber, can you put the Holistic Chamber, um, can you put the logo on your website? What are some things that people can do to help their business grow with the Holistic Chamber?
So for your SEO, it goes really in two directions. One is on your directory listing, you can add your primary website, but you can also add your social profile. So your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, and your Instagram handle, right? You can put all four of those links on your directory listing. So that is a SEO booster that points people to you and your sites. And then on your site, you can put your Holistic Chamber of Commerce member logo and you can hyperlink it back to us. So you're ending up with hyperlinks that go in both directions. Sometimes those are also called backlinks, and they add to the, what's that term? The algorithms that are out there searching for who's worth putting in their top layer of search results.
No, that's great. And you also do an interview, right? If when somebody joins, like if they want to have have an interview with you, and you can put it on your website. I heard that you also do that as well.
So our Amplify members can be featured in a variety of different meetings and speaking opportunities. We have a business masterclass, which features members and allows our members to speak to other members and the greater audience. And then we also have a wellness expert series, which is out there and also put on our YouTube channel so that everybody everywhere can, again, it adds to the awareness and education around holistic therapies and what our members do, products and services that they offer.
Yes, and it seems to me, I don't know, how have you seen people shift? Like today, these days, I see such a huge shift towards holistic than I've ever seen before. Have you felt that shift with everything that you're doing with the Holistic Chamber?
Well, I feel it, but I get to see it as well. We have over 55,000 followers. Okay, let me say that again.
Mhm.
Over 55,000 direct followers. So, this is a day and age of search engine optimization and algorithms where if I make a post on LinkedIn, it goes direct to my first layer of connections, but then it also bumps through to the second layer, all of my connections, right? And the same on Facebook and on Instagram. We have 55,000 direct followers on LinkedIn, Facebook, our email list, Instagram, YouTube, And that number gets bigger every day. So that tells me that more people are getting interested, open, available, curious, and they're starting to experiment and explore. Um, you know, that little, we'll call it a worldwide hiccup that happened in 2020? A lot of people got way more aware of their health and the importance of being healthy on a day to day basis. And that's what holistic healthcare is all about. Um, People also got really into the mindset of, I don't want to take another pill. What can I do for myself that's going to keep me healthy? Heck, a lot of people got pets because we realized that, pets are, and this is statistically proven, pets are good for your health. They lower your stress, right? Um, so, yeah, so I would say we are really seeing that growth in people paying attention to holistic options and possibilities and what they can do for themselves.
Yes, and especially with aging, I feel like if we don't do it now and we don't take care of
Yeah.
ourselves the way we should now, it's really gonna affect us later. So I see, like, you see people that have not lived a very conscious life when they were younger, and you see how their body's reacting, how their skin's reacting. Like, you really see it on people, if you look around. So, I mean, some of us have unfortunate circumstances and things can happen, but I'm talking about the average person that doesn't take care of themselves and is not consciously eating, drinking, Coke and alcohol and smoking, and just not really taking care, eating a lot of fried foods and just things that are not really benefiting their health. In the long term, there's a high price to pay.
Yeah, there is a high price to pay if you are not paying attention to all of those basics. Getting, some physical movement, some physical activity, what you're eating and drinking. And by the way, I am the last person to say stop doing all the things that you love that make you happy. I'm not saying you have to give up I have not given up all the foods that I enjoy eating. I eat less of them, but many things are still, I still enjoy a sweet treat every once in a while, right? I still have a little happy hour drink every once in a while. So you don't have to think of it as giving up everything, just starting to um, look at it with a little more awareness. Do I really want, another sugary drink today? Do I really want another one of these? I can always have another one tomorrow, right? So that old, oh, I think it's a cliche, all things in moderation, including moderation. So, you know, you've got to still enjoy your life. Part of a holistic lifestyle is enjoying the life that you're living. But if you want to live a longer life, then look at those basic choices. And I would say, yeah, when I meet somebody who's been living holistically for a while, many times I can't even guess their age.
I agree. All right, so your book, Fresh Start, Transformation and Action. I didn't even know you're an author. So can you tell me a little bit about that? And we're going to get back to the holistic health, but I just wanted to hear a little about your
Well,
book.
thank you. And this book is a lot about holistic health. Um, it's really about I wrote it fairly early in my holistic chamber of commerce business journey. It is a combination of holistic health um, suggestions and also holistically minded business building considerations. But it's really, where are you? Where are you stuck? And let's plant some seeds about some possibilities for getting you unstuck. And that's why the subtitle, I guess, would be, it's transformation and action. It's because it doesn't matter how good these ideas are. If you don't start taking action on them, it won't matter. Sure, you're not supposed to smoke, but if you keep smoking 5, 10 cigarettes a day, every day, it doesn't matter that you shouldn't be smoking. It's taking action on what you know. So this book is really, just what are some easy ways for you to get started in getting unstuck and creating a life that you really want to live. Is it your best life? Is it your favorite life? It's a life you actually want to be living.
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, the action part, like you said, I love that it says transformation in action. Because, like you said, without action, nothing's going to change, right? You're going to stay the same. So, if we
Yeah.
don't, you know, that's the key to any change is taking some kind of action, you know, getting out of
Yeah.
your head and getting into your life and taking some steps to better yourself.
Right. Exactly.
And that work never stops. And is your book available like on Amazon? Is that where people can find it?
Oh, it is. It's definitely available on Amazon. Do you want me to put the link in the chat? I could do that.
No, I'll put it. You'll give me the link, and I'll put it under the podcast when we do the.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so that's great because there's no real. Yeah, it won't help in the chat here. That's great. So I think I didn't even know you were an author, and you're also an artist as well, right?
Yes. So I am a painter. Most of my paintings are original, one of a kind,
Mm.
acrylic on canvas, and um, and they're virtually all abstract. I mean, this is you probably think of this as a flower. I think of it as a flower, but it's an abstract flower. So, um, and my heart is with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So when I'm talking with you, Noah, I'm almost always talking about, holistic approaches to health and wellness. Um, it's great that in preparing for this podcast, you found my book and you found my art, and because I do love talking about those, and they are they're part of the process. I mean, we live life on a timeline. So you're not always doing the same thing all day, every day. Well, okay, I take that back. Some of us are doing the same thing all day, every day, but you don't have to be doing the same thing all day, every day. So look around. What's possible for you?
No, it's great, and you're a creative person, so you have many creative outlets. But of course, your main baby and the main thing that you do and the main thing that you're really spreading in the world is holistic health, which is, to me, that's just so priceless. And I love that you went with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce because it does have the reputation. When people hear Holistic Chamber of Commerce, they're like, oh, I want to be a part of that, you know? So
Yeah.
it's different than just like throwing out some name into the world. So it has the, like you said already, the reputation and everything behind it. Let's talk about some of the holistic modalities that you use yourself, that have helped you in your own life and that you recommend people use.
Okay, so I think of a lot of these are they're gateway. They're the gateway. They're the starting point. Um, and holistic therapies really do, I think, exist on a spectrum from more mainstream, so gateway therapies, all the way over to more esoteric therapies that maybe some of your friends have never tried before. But here's where I started. In addition to changing the foods that I was eating and the drinks that I was drinking, by the way, I used to have like a 3 Coke a day habit. 3 Cokes a day. And by the way, we all know there are people who drink more soda than that, and others who have never drunk a soda. So, it takes time to change all these little habits that we don't even think about. I started with massage and acupuncture, chiropractic. Uh,
So why
also,
did you do the massage? You did it just to like kind of relax yourself, right?
it's Yeah, so for me, massage is really a lower my stress and relaxation, and it's still my go-to. I probably get a massage about once a month. Um, it's also good for your metabolism. It's good for people who don't get enough touch therapy, enough hugs. There's a surprising amount of research on all the different ways that massage therapy can make a difference for athletes and also for seniors and for recovery from surgeries. So yeah, that's massage and acupuncture. Um, I go to acupuncturists a little less often, but when I first started the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, that was actually the therapy that I was looking for. And I find it a little bit harder sometimes to find a quality acupuncturist than it is to find a quality massage therapist. Though, again, just because somebody is listed on Google doesn't make them high quality or the professional that's going to be a good fit for you.
What's a
So,
quality acupuncturist? What would you define that as?
I would say you want to see their education certification, their licensing certification. Um, You also might want to ask about their needles and their sanitizing of their needles, right? Now, I've been to a couple of different types of acupuncture offices, studios. Some are very clinical. You're clearly going to see an Eastern medicine doctor and it feels like a doctor's office. And I've been to other acupuncturist offices that are more like studios or salons, which are really designed with relaxation in mind. So that's the other thing when you are going to see a holistic therapist of any kind, there is the question about what type of environment do you want to be in? Are you looking for somebody who is focused on the medical practice of it, right? Or are you going to somebody who's really focused on the emotional well-being benefits of that therapy? And you will find that their offices or their studios look and feel a little bit different. Does
What's
that
what's
help?
the, what's the benefit for you for doing acupuncture?
Well, so I have gone to acupuncturists for sometimes for medical reasons. If I have, so sometimes a joint pain, like if I've twisted my knee or something like that. And I've also, by the way, I've also referred friends to acupuncturists for things like if they have a twisted knee that's just not getting better, or a twisted ankle, or some back pain. Um, and then sometimes for just the relaxation, I have been a been a workaholic for much of my life. And so I find that I need to decompress, de-stress, kind of lower those levels of ugh.
Cortisone, cortisol.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think some people would call it anxiety. I don't usually think of it as anxiety, but it is certainly like oh, she is tightly wound,
She needs a
right?
massage.
She needs a massage, like she needs to unwind. Well, okay, I'm going to say this. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but I used to have when I worked in downtown LA. I do remember one day when one of my staff members, this was back in the day when you wouldn't offend people for saying this. It just was like, honey, you need to get laid. Uh,
That's
um, and
funny.
it was all meant in jest, and we had a very good working relationship. So I took it in the way in which it was meant, which was like, take a chill pill, honey. And I find massage and acupuncture and essential oils and also hypnotherapy, right? These are really good ways to just kind of take a chill pill, relax.
Distress yourself,
Yeah,
especially if you can't get laid. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, especially if you can't get laid. Well, especially if you don't want to get laid the way you used to, because
You-
I have not lived a perfect life. If when I go look at some of my past decisions, I'm like, oh, Camille, what were you thinking? So, yeah,
Yeah, I think we can all do that, Camille. I don't I don't think you're the
yeah,
only one. I think we can all look at our past. But when I go to YouTube and I see the real craziness out in the world, I'm like, I did fine.
yeah,
Because there's some
yeah.
real craziness out there. We're okay. We're doing well. We're not in jail, so we're good.
Well, it's so funny. Like I also, so this is another way in which holistic therapy is really, I think, made a huge difference for my life and my quality of life, right? My quality of life on a day-to-day basis. I used to have a lot of drama in my life. I was a drama mama. And and I think at that time I thought that drama keeps my life interesting and exciting, so I won't get bored. And what I've realized is there are a lot of ways to keep my life interesting and exciting that do not include drama. There are ways to have adventures, right? And be creative and have fun that do not require that I get all tightly wound in the chaos that is going on in other people's lives and in the world today.
That's a great point, right? Because so many people are addicted to their dramas and to their
Yep,
stories and to
yep.
the all that kind of thing, and they live with that every day. That they're not even conscious it's there. They're
No,
just
well,
it's.
we don't think we have a choice. This
Mm,
is the way it's always been.
mm. Well, it's comfortable. It's really comfortable
It is,
because it's
yes.
you've always done it, and so that's why I believe that being able to raise our consciousness, right,
Yeah.
is what's important to be able to live better lives. Because if we're not conscious of what we're doing and the impact we have on others, then how can we truly live our most authentic life?
Right. Well, and how can we bring that joy and that light to other people? We can't because we're not aware of it in ourselves, right? We're all caught up in the ugliness and the chaos.
Mm.
But the more we step into light or laughter or joy or health and wellness of any kind, the more I think you said it really well at the beginning of this podcast, the more we create a ripple effect, right? The more we give others permission to step into health and wellness for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the other therapies that some of your members in the Holistic Chamber have? Because I know there's so many different therapies. There's light therapy.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and one
Yeah.
other question on top of that. Give me some of the list of the holistic things that you guys offer. And then the other part of the question is how do they not compete with each other? So let's say I'm running, and so this is a conversation in my own head, and I'm not about competition. But
Right.
like I have a chiropractor that's part of the Holistic Chamber, and I love him, and he's a great friend, and he's also part of. He's also an author in my book, and he's amazing. He adjusts you. His name is Dr. Dan from Atlas Clinic, and he adjusts you with sound wave. He's able to adjust you without actually cracking or doing anything. So it's a new machine, a
Oh,
sound
that's
wave machine
beautiful.
where he actually aligns your atlas. Now, I had a situation where other chiropractors have come in, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like, so he believes that's the right way to do. Well, they are still doing manual or they're still doing certain things. Now they're intimidated, right? By the fact that here's this guy who's already known in this place and already doing things a certain way. And they're like, how do I fit in? And you could tell the discomfort when there's multiple people doing the same thing. And especially I noticed it in that area. So I wanted to ask you about that.
So I think so. Most people think of chiropractic as a physical therapy where you do have to go in person.
Mhm.
So I think there are a couple of ways in which we need to recognize that we are on the same team and we're not competing with each other. So, just one way in which that's the case is in a geographic area, there is usually a certain amount of distance between your two offices. Some people aren't going to want to drive all the way across town to the other office. They want the office that is closer to either where they work or to where they live. And they're really making a decision based on, I don't have time to drive cross town to get to the other guy. So I'm going to go to this office. I think the other thing to pay attention to is in the health and wellness arena, lots of times people are looking for a specific type in order to get the right fit. So, for example, I'm a female. I could be looking for a female chiropractor. I'm not interested in a male chiropractor for certain health issues. I'm not comfortable. Whereas a man might not be comfortable with a female chiropractor, might be looking specifically for a male chiropractor. Some people are going to be looking for a therapist who is about their age. Others might be looking for somebody who is older than them and has that long term experience, right? So, I mean, just right there, the number of differentiators is tremendous. Also, in the world of chiropractors, I mean, there are some chiropractors who are more gentle in their approach to a chiropractic adjustment. There are chiropractors who actually specifically focus on your upper cervical vertebrae, upper cervical spine. So, are they competing with each other? I really kind of doubt it. Same with acupuncturists, right? There have been times when I was looking for a particular type of therapist because of the health concern that I was dealing with. Um, and again, it's an in person therapy. So, distance between offices, distance from where I live or where I work makes a difference. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I also I do have to keep coming back absolutely. And I do it's also the connection, the human connection, right? You might connect more with one person than you do with the other person. So really people go to people that they know, like, and trust. And
Yep.
so if you have a connection, and for some reason we feel more drawn to this person or drawn to this person, and then I have to always remind myself there's no scarcity of there's no scarcity of people. Like, really, there's so many people in the world that even one person could not treat everybody. So we need multiple people to treat multiple.
So, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, there are 8 billion
Mhm.
people in the world.
Mhm.
In the US, there are 330 million. That's just in the US. So if we go population of Florida, right? Let's go population of Florida. 23.8 million.
Mhm.
Are you clear about that? There is plenty for everybody. There is plenty for all of those chiropractors. I mean, does a chiropractor in Boca Raton feel like they are competing with a chiropractor in Fort Lauderdale? Because I promise you, the people who live or work in Fort Lauderdale are probably not driving up to Boca Raton for services, right? Um, and the population of Boca Raton is 100,000. I think there's plenty of business for all of you.
You just have to get in action, right? If you don't get
Well,
in action.
so that's where, yeah, you got to get in action, but that's where visibility becomes a factor. If people don't know who you are,
Mhm.
if they're not aware that you're just down the street or just a mile away or
Mhm.
within 5 miles of them, then they're not going to come to your office. They're not going to hire you for an adjustment. So that is part of the point of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce is how do we increase the visibility for all of these holistic professionals, these wellness providers who people don't yet know about. People haven't yet gone and tried these therapies. And that is why we come together in the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, is because it's good for our visibility. You know, we have had groups that have, because of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce as an organization, we've had groups that have had booths at local community wellness fairs, also at company employee health and wellness fairs, right? Which increases the visibility of all of the members in that group, all of the holistic therapists who are involved in that group.
What's the
People
bit?
would never have heard.
Definitely. What's the big vision for you with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce? Like, what's your vision for the future? Like,
Oh, what's that term? Household name,
mhm.
right? The Holistic Chamber of Commerce becomes a household name so that, when we move to a new community, we look to see if there is a local Holistic Chamber of Commerce. And we find that there is, so we can find our chiropractor, our acupuncturist, our massage therapist. We can find a local hypnotherapist or essential oils expert, right? Um, or on top of that, we have a friend or a family member who's on the other side of the country, maybe. I have family in Maryland who they have health concerns come up. How do I make a recommendation to them, right, for a holistic therapy? Not a, hey, I know you're insured, go to your regular doctor, but if whatever your regular doctor is suggesting isn't working, here are some other possibilities. Here are some other products and services that you could check out.
No, that's great. I love that, that it's gonna, that you see the vision of it being like everywhere and really supporting people, being able
Yeah,
to heal themselves holistically. And it's been a great experience for me being a leader for the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. I've met so many incredible people. The book that I'm doing right now, The Grass Grows Where I Am, almost every single author in the book has come from the Holistic Chamber of
oh,
Commerce. So I
that's
literally
great.
made those connections and got the trust of the community through leading the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. What I love the most is that when you were saying before, I do see us as the heart center entrepreneurs coming together, and filling our cup, because as holistic
Yeah,
healers, we also need to fill our cup because we're always giving and healing and helping.
yes,
So,
yes.
to come to fill our cup, to connect with an amazing community of people. When you come to the meetings, you always walk away with a full cup. You always meet so many incredible new people and people that have been, it's incredible. Like the connections, literally, people don't want to leave and they come there and they have their phones at the end. They're just like taking each other contacts and connecting, and I really encourage them to do one-on-ones and to really get to know each other because, it's not the business card that really is going to grow that relationship.
No, no. And I have called it, it's the chatty place for introverts.
Mhm.
Yes, many of our members, a high percentage of our members are a little bit introverted. Um, because frankly, they are here to help other people. And so they're not always all about talking about themselves, right? Um, Sometimes we get enthusiastic and passionate sharing our products and services and why we do what we do. But in general, we're not the people you would go to for small talk. But I have seen when I go to, a meeting, a group that is really thriving, it's like the group leader says, all right, tonight's meeting is over. We'll be back here again next month. But everybody wants to hang around. They're still connecting with each other, they're still networking. And And that's really what it means to have a thriving community and to stay supported. I mean, especially for anybody who's working out of a home office, you need to stay supported. Find your tribe, connect with your tribe.
Yeah, and you definitely do find your tribe there. And
Yeah,
it's funny that you said introvert because I've always been an introvert, right?
yes.
But I do so many things that are more extrovert, but I am an introvert inside. So in different situations, I'm more introvert. In other situations where I have to show up, I put on my extrovert, shoes. But it's not
Yeah,
easy for an introvert and it goes both ways. I feel like a lot of us have both kind of sides to us.
yeah. Which is good. I mean, I think a lot of people would say these days that an introvert isn't necessarily always quiet out in public. It just means that at after a certain amount of time being extroverted or being out of that shell, they do want to come home, come back to their retreat space, right? Come back to center and get grounded before they go out again. But we've got to be able to talk to people. We
Yes,
want to talk to people. That's how we heal the world.
absolutely. Camille, I'm so grateful we had this time. Time's gone by so fast. And I'm so grateful that you trust me to lead one of your chapters locally here in Boca Raton. You guys can
You're
look up
great.
also the Boca Holistic Chamber. And your organization is amazing. I mean, what you're doing is amazing. And we didn't even get to the fact that if you're a member, if you're traveling and you're in another city, you can also, speak there and, do every time we do a meeting, one of the members gives a presentation. So when you're a member, if you're traveling, you can present in other places as well. So there's just so many opportunities to grow yourself, grow your business, and be able to create more positive impact in the world. Is there? Please tell people how they can find you, connect with you, Camille.
So, our website is the longest domain name in the world, holisticchamberofcommerce.com. I am on LinkedIn, so look me up on LinkedIn, Camille Leon, or look up our company page, which is at Holistic Chamber of Commerce. Also on Facebook, same names, and also on, believe it or not, Instagram and YouTube. So you can find us in a lot of places, but the main place is holisticchamberofcommerce.com. That's where you will find the directory so you can find our other members. You will find the calendar so you can find the events that we're hosting and also the events that our members are hosting coming up. And we would love to stay connected with you. And thank you, Noah, so much. This has been just a wonderful way to spend some time with you and get the word out.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, and I'm excited for everything that we're doing together to help spread holistic awareness in the world.
Yeah, it's a movement.
It's a movement, 100%. It's an international movement. For
Woo!
sure, yes. It's growing and growing and growing. So if you're listening and you want to start a movement in your city or your town, make sure you reach out to the Holistic Chamber of Commerce, to Camille, right? Camille, is there an email they should reach out to if they're interested?
The best email is hello, HELLO, at holisticchamberofcommerce.com. Hello at holisticchamberofcommerce.com.
Awesome. That's beautiful. I love it. Hello. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. Until next time, remember to do these three important elements, practice them that I always speak about at the end of my podcast. Element number one, remember to every day have a grateful heart and connect to your gratitude. When you're connected to your gratitude, you're connected to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore drawing more positive people, things, and experiences into your life. Element number two, remember to every day ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, because we all need more love and compassion. And then learn to share that love and compassion with others. The more love and compassion you will put in the world, the more abundance of love and compassion you will receive in return. That's how it works. I always say the world is round and energy moves in a round circle. So whatever you put out will always come back to you. And number three, remember that you're not alone on this journey. This is a guided journey. I always say guided by God. So whether it's guides for you, universe, higher power, source, whatever you want to call it, know that you're not alone. When you learn to be a good listener, by turning off the noise of the world and the noise of others, you can literally tap into yourself and tap into your own gifts and into your own inner compass. The reason I say it's a guided journey is because God always sends messengers and messages your way. So you just have to learn to also listen to be able to receive. Until next time, my friends, have a beautiful week. Namaste. The World Healing Tour Movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.